B.2 Introduction to Jsp. So now we are ready to learn Jsp technology. Yeah. All right, first, so let us look at this question. Why Jsp technology is needed? Yeah. Actually, the video B.1, so we learned the reason, right? Yeah, so let us continue from that video. Yeah. Jsp simplify the delivery. So look at this delivery. Content delivery. Delivery of what? Dynamic web content. Dynamic web content. So we emphasize the dynamic part. Yeah. Why? Because if you only want to deliver static content, you just use HTML, right? Yeah. So the reason we use Jsp, we want to add dynamic content in our usual HTML content. Yeah. All right. So the main point is at the delivery issue. Yeah. All right. So now, let's look at the delivery detail. Yeah. To produce HTML content. Yeah, we saw examples in the previous video. A servlet needs to, so this method is used, print ln or print. Yeah. ln, we need to change line, right? Line, ln means line, line change. At the end of the string, you put a line change symbol. Yeah. So then you start from a new line. All right. So print version. There are several print versions, right? Print ln. So you basically use print methods to output strings containing many HTML tags. So we have that experience. Yeah. So we can feel about that. Yeah. Then the biggest problem is at a static content. Yeah. When we do that part, remember in the B.1 video, I point out double quotes, two different types of double quotes, Java string double quotes and HTML double quotes. You need to separate. You need to use backslash to escape double quotes when you need to make it appear in HTML content. So think about that part. Not a good way, right? Not a good way. Yeah. All right. So that is the biggest problem. So we want to change that. That problem appears in the static part, not dynamic part, right? For the dynamic part, so we feel okay. Yeah. Because dynamic, you need to use Java code anyway, right? No matter where you put a dynamic content, you need to use Java code anyway. So we don't worry about the dynamic part, but we want to do something better in the static part. Yeah. All right, so let's look at the solution next. What is a good solution? We don't want to make the solution very complicated. We want to make a solution as simple as possible. Yeah. Easy to use. Yeah. So let's look at the main points in our solution. First, keep the static content unchanged. That should be a good way, right? Static content unchanged. If you have static content, just do nothing, right? Why? You already have the static content. Why you need to, rewrite the static content, right? So in our servlets, think about, we need to rewrite the static part. That's a lot of work. Yeah. Think about, you have a large block of static content. Do you need to rewrite line by line? So that's really bad. So even if you have a large block of static content, we just want to leave there. Okay? We don't touch it. That static part, we don't want to touch it. Only at some special locations where we need to add dynamic content, then we use Java code. So that should be the main point of a good solution. Yeah. Next, embed Java code for dynamic content. Yeah. Yes. Now, for this part, we just embed Java code. Where to embed? Embed inside HTML content. You have a block of HTML text. Yeah. In different locations, you want to add dynamic content, or sometimes not necessarily dynamic content. You want to do some data processing work. You can add Java code in the locations where you want to do something non-static, right? Dynamic. Yeah. All right. So here I want to still use our Duke example. In our Duke example, we have two Jsp files. Here, let us use the first one. It's called index.jsp. Yeah. In this file, let me copy the content put here. So you can see that basically there are two blocks of content. The first block, static, right? Never changes, static, the regular HTML content. The second block, now you can see that's dynamic. That's dynamic, right? Yeah. And you can see we need to use Java code to do something special, dynamic data manipulation. See? Yeah. So that's the typical way we, in our solution, Jsp solution here. Yeah. All right. So you get an idea. Yeah. As for what's the meaning of this line, next line, so we will go there later. Yeah. In this video, B.2, we just understand the general high-level concept understanding. Yeah. Well, later we will go to lower level, detail line by line understanding. Yeah. All right. Then another key point, important point, derived from the servlet technology. So this Jsp technology, it should be derived from existing servlet technology. Why? The reason is very simple. It can save a lot of work because the servlet technology already available there, right? It is already available there. Yeah. It has all the functionalities we need. The only negative part, that is the static content presentation part. Yeah. So here we create a new Java team, so they create a new technology, Jsp, mainly fixing that static content display, delivery, presentation, that part. That's enough. Yeah. The remaining, just borrow, just to build it on top of the servlet technology. Okay. So these 3 points are the main properties of Jsp technology. Yeah. All right. Next, so let us look at some basic facts about Jsp. Yeah. All right. So first, Jsp is an extension of servlet technology. So we treat it as an extension technology on top of servlet technology. It's not a brand new one. Yeah. So it is built in a layer above the servlet technology. Servlet below it. Yeah. foundation part. So this layer right on top of the servlet layer. All right. Then JSP Container is part of the web server that runs JSP web components. Here you see this terminology, JSP Container. What's that, JSP Container? Remember, we learned the servlet container, right? Servlet container and web container. Also, I mentioned web container. All right, web container. Servlet container. So what is the servlet container? We describe as simple as this. A software running environment used for the servlet technology. Software running environment. You need a special running environment. In this software running environment, servlet technology can be managed inside. All right. Similarly, JSP Container, we need another local environment, software running environment, but this time we use it for managing the JSP technology. So there is a JSP container, right? So then we put together JSP container plus servlet container together, so we get Java web container. So next time when we talk about Java web container, it includes servlet container and a JSP container. All right, so that's the terminology. Next, JSP source file. The source file just use the .jsp extension. Here, this extension is important. Otherwise, if you use a different JSP, different extension, it will not be treated as JSP files. Okay, so the files, if you use different other than the JSP extension, then the Java web server won't treat it as JSP files. So then it won't do the appropriate processing on your JSP files. What kind of processing? We will go there, because a lot of things the web container needs to do on JSP files. All right. JSP files, they are physical files. So you can see it, the physical file, you can work on it. So you can manipulate physical files, and they could be accessed by clients through URLs. URL, how to access a JSP file? Typically through URL. Usually, although we have other different ways. But the common way to access JSP files, we can use URLs. First, domain, right? HTTPS or not, / that domain name, / after that, your Java web application name. Okay? After that, / then you may have some paths, right? Sometimes you may want to add some path information. After that, your JSP file. At the end, the file name of your JSP. So that is the typical way we access a JSP file. Next, JSP are derived from HTML or XHTML. So here, this X related to XML rules. Rules. So mainly, all the tags must be paired. XML requirement. All the tags must be paired. In HTML, we do not require that. Some of the tags not necessarily paired. Starting tag, closing tag, right? A pair of tags to define one element. Typically, we do that. But sometimes, for example, for the BR tag, you do not need to provide a closing tag, right? Another one, HR, horizontal rule, you do not need to provide closing tag, right? Another one, image, IMG tag, you do not need to provide a closing tag, right? In HTML. Yeah. But if you have unpaired tags, we call it singleton. Yeah, singleton tags. If you have those tags, some of the software presentation tools would have problems. Some of the special tools may have some problems. Yeah. For that reason, so people use another version, XHTML, to enforce the pairing rule. Typically from XML, the pairing rule. Yeah. All right. Then we do the embedding. The question, how to do the embedding, right? Embedding Jsp Scriptlets. Here, this new term, scriptlets, Jsp Scriptlets, special Jsp code segment. So we call it a scriptlet. Yeah. So what's that? JSPs use scriptlets to embed the Java code between the tags. Here, use special tags. Arrow brackets, a pair of arrow brackets, but very special. Yeah. Percent sign. Yeah. Combined with percent sign, less than percent, percent greater than, this kind of tag pairs to define Jsp Scriptlets. Yeah. So then we put a dynamic content inside the tags, content part. Yeah. All right. Here, so you can see, I like to connect this way, this simple way, to PHP. Yeah. PHP, server-side programming language. If you have some experience using PHP, then you're familiar with this way, right? PHP, we use special PHP tags, right? Yeah. Question mark, right? Yeah. PHP, yeah. We have this, yeah. Then, right? Yeah. The PHP special tag, but question mark, yeah, right? Here, JSP percent sign. The logic pretty much the same. Yeah. But actually, for the JSP tags, there are more variations. PHP, we only have this type. That's enough. So we can embed PHP code anywhere in a HTML file. Yeah. But for JSP, we have several variations or versions, several different ways related to the Jsp tags. Yeah. Here, let me show you some of them. Yeah. Here, I use 2 JSP files from our Duke example. Yeah, I take 3 segments here. The first one, yeah, in the index.jsp, yeah, the first 2 lines, you can see after the percent sign, you have an at symbol. So that's another, we call it JSP element. There are several JSP elements. Yeah. So this one, we call it JSP directives. JSP directives. Yeah. We will learn the detailed information about JSP directives later. Yeah. Here you can see, so that's, this JSP element looks different from Jsp Scriptlet, right? Yeah. Only percent, there is no at sign, but here we need to add an at sign. Yeah. So that's the, first variation. This one, Jsp Scriptlet. So you can see, yeah. But this one, directive, Jsp directive, at sign. Yeah. The usage different. The meaning different. Yeah. All right, this is the standard Jsp Scriptlets. Yeah. All right, another one, this one. So this one from response.jsp. In the response.jsp, there is one line, this line, the second line, look at the second line. This line, after percent sign, you see an equal sign. Equal sign after percent sign, that's different. Yeah. That's another JSP element. So we call JSP expression. Yeah. The usage different. Yeah. So the way to use JSP expression, it's different from the way to use standard Jsp Scriptlets. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So this is our introduction part. Next, we will learn more JSP features, properties, examples, and the meaning of all these JSP elements. All right. So let's stop here. Yeah.